Okay, hey, it's Mike, and yeah, I know it's been a while since I actually put out something that's not just Fortnite clips. Honestly, I was just putting those out to get the space off of my hard drive at this point, because Fortnite be taking a lot of space on this thing, man. Honestly, that could be like a whole other thing for me to complain about, but that's not what I'm trying to talk about today. Like, I guess this would be a update video on what's been going on. So I've been kind of busy lately. Like, yeah, there's been the usual kinds of things with life and all that, personal stuff going on, family issues and whatnot, but there's also some other stuff I've just been working on this month, and it's been a real hamper on, like, creative type things I want to do as of late. And for one, they did want to do like the whole Inktober thing, but it's already like the 20th at this point, so it's like I probably have to like rapid fire those things out if I wanted to get caught up. But on top of that, it's like I've had this whole thing about building a bedroom that I've been focusing on this month. That's kind of why I've been so distracted with doing that, let alone the actual videos I want to put out. So it's just been a go struggle to get this bedroom finished and be able to move on with other things I wanted to do this month. But it's been going well with the bedroom, actually. Like, it's pretty much done now. Like, all the walls are up, the plaster's done, got the paint job done in, so now it's really just a matter of like getting the carpet down, and then I could move into that new space. I probably missed this old bedroom I've been in. I've been in this room since I was a toddler, practically, like 3 years old, I think. It's kind of crazy, like having a space you've been in your whole life and then like finally moving out of it. Even though like I've had moved out of this room before. We went to like the second floor for a while, a different room, but like then we came right back down here like a year later, so it's like didn't really last that long. It's weird to think about, honestly. Really, I guess I'm saying like it's kind of funny to like think of where you've been your whole life when you've just been in like the same space generally in terms of like living conditions, and have a sudden shift in that may be like a more permanent long-term thing instead of just a temporary one. It really kind of puts in perspective about like how much things can change and how much other things can stagnate depending on like the conditions you're in, and whether or not it's good or bad or if it's comfortable for you. Never put that much thought into it before, you know? It's not for this kind of circumstance. I sure know what it's like for like other things, like the status of your family or whatever. And it's like a whole other thing that not even get into right now. But anyways, just been getting a bunch of images ready for upload for another video I wanted to put out. See, there's a whole thing with Little Big Planet 3 and how it's gonna get delisted soon and all the DLC will be gone, which, that's just plain depressing, because like Little Big Planet was like a whole thing. It was like one of the big names for like the PS3 back in the day. Everyone loved playing those games. You'd be able to make your own levels, make your own games practically. There's like all kinds of content on there for millions of people to play. It's crazy. Now just taking all away, like, I mean, they already shut off the servers last year because of all the DDoS attacks that happened beforehand. That was the most annoying thing I remember. Like, I was trying to put out some levels and stuff back in like 2021, and then like by the time 2022 came around, it's like it seemed practically impossible to even play the online stuff with this game, because like not only was all the crashing issues that were still there from before, but now you just have the issues with the online stuff. People can't even get on anymore. It was the most annoying thing. I don't know why whoever would even do this sort of thing would, like, I don't get it. It's like some people just want to make others miserable for like no goddamn reason. It's the most annoying type of junk. Anyways, since I don't really have like a whole big fancy LBP retrospective video to really like put out for the whole series overall, I figured I'd probably like do a bit of a retrospective on the biggest project I had on there, which was Project Spin, which is short for Sonic Pins and Needle Mouse. So sort of like I guess an engine type thing of sorts I kind of put together that would give you like more authentic Sonic styled gameplay with the rolling mechanics and such, but also like throw in a bunch of moves from later games in the series so you could do stuff from later entries instead of just the Sonic 1 remake I was making with it. Because I was doing like some cool things in there, like you could do wall runs and some of the melee attacks and like the fighting games, bounce and stomp, all kinds of things. I had like a whole particular setup with like a run mode and a ball mode and all that. Make sure it worked properly for that sort of deal. But yeah, for that video I'll probably be going more into detail with it, get some images in there, visual representation, and kind of have all that sorted. I'm not sure when it'll come out, hopefully soon, since you know the game's gonna get delisted from PSN at the end of the month, so hopefully I can get to that quickly. As well as that one like time related video for Sonic characters in particular that I was planning on doing last month, but I kinda held it off because I was trying to like find the right images to put to it. It's like a whole hassle for me. Like I gotta go and find all the assets, because like I already had the recording done, so it's really just a matter of me just having the images I want to put in there. Because like just having gameplay footage like this on its own, I'm talking about something specific. It's not even the game I'm playing or talking about. I feel like there'll probably be a bit of a disconnect there, you know. No, I think that video does use Sonic game footage, but it's like Sonic Frontiers. I'm talking like mainly a mid-2000s era problem from like 06 and Rivals and all that stuff. So you probably still need the pictures anyway. Yeah, those two videos aside, I'm not sure what else to plan. I could probably make like some Halloween related thing by the end of the month as well. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get to it quickly enough though. On other things, I probably should focus on like the Inktober thing instead. Like, I don't really draw with ink usually, at least with traditional art, but I'd probably try something, you know, because I want to get drawing again, and if anything, I like to like get 100 drawings out at some point, back to back, let alone 31, which, yeah, I don't have much time left at this point. Like, screw it, I might as well just go ham and like draw as much as I could, because I enjoy drawing. I want to draw more. It's just a matter of having the time to do it, and that's the problem. It's like, I guess that's the problem with it, isn't it? It's like, when you're young, it's like you have all this energy and all this stuff you want to do, but a lot of stuff you can't do because you don't have the money. Then you get older and it's like you have all these more responsibilities getting in the way. You have money now, but now you don't have as much time. And you get really old, you have time because you're retired, but now you don't have the energy to do the stuff that you could have done when you were younger. It's kind of messed up, ain't it? Yeah, I'm not looking forward to being elderly, because, like, that kind of limits the possibilities of stuff I can do. So there's still plenty of stuff I want to do while I'm still young. I'm still in my 20s. I want to be able to do certain things before I'm too old for that stuff, you know? Right? And, yeah, 20s is still young. You could do plenty by the time you're 30. Yeah, I'm coming up on that soon, but I still want to get, like, plenty done even by then, you know? Because, like, by the time you hit, like, 50, I ain't doing no extreme sports shit anymore, I don't think, if given the chance. I don't know. There's a lot to think about, really. I mean, heck, I'm still, like, backed up on, like, a lot of footage on this console right now. Like, the gameplay you're seeing right now, I've recorded that back in, like, July, and I have, like, a lot of stuff from the months since then up to now that I still haven't done anything with. It's just taking up a lot of space. Maybe 60 gigabytes or something. I need to get rid of this. It's like I either gotta delete it, or I gotta use it for some kind of content. Honestly, speaking of which, PSO2 has been rather fun. Like, yeah, I've been playing for like practically 2 years at this point, but mostly just New Genesis. I've been getting more into playing PSO2 Classic, and I've been having fun despite like the more limited moveset in terms of like mobility, because they make up for like, more combat options. There's more moves you can do with the weapons compared to New Genesis. It's kind of funny the contrast there. Like, in order to vary up your moveset more in New Genesis, you basically just have to combine different weapons to get more attack options. But with classic PSO2, you can basically just get like a whole bunch of moves for just one weapon, and it applies to like each of them. Kind of wish they did that with New Genesis, honestly. It would really vary up your moveset more. See more variety out there with like the different players with their own sort of attack setups. Like, I guess they wanted to simplify it for newer players, I don't know. You also don't get cutscenes like this in New Genesis. Like, everything was usually like in-game from what I can tell. No fancy CGI. Except for the opening, of course. Whereas I'm still sort of relatively newer to the series compared to like longtime fans that have been playing this game for years. I know a lot of them probably prefer classic PSO2 in terms of gameplay. And then you just got like the people that mainly just hang out in the hub showing off their costumes in New Genesis. Yeah, I'm not really sure what those guys are doing for the most part. Like, most players I would assume are either like here for like the character design stuff, or because they're here for like the old school PSO gameplay loop or something. Which I guess is a bit of a contrast in like what appeals to you, because yeah, some people are like here to like show off what they've been able to make. If it be from like designing their characters or showing off their creative spaces, what kind of homes they make, or like level challenges or whatever. It's like the tools aren't as robust as say like Dreams or Little Big Planet, but like there's plenty to work with to make something interesting, I'd say. As for the actual gameplay of PSO2, it's like I have fun with it. It's like your own. It's like the expected action RPG sort of hack and slash type format. Of course, different classes to work with, like your RPGs would expect. And while I would say that New Genesis doesn't seem to have as much of a intricacy as classic PSO2, I still have fun with it, since I can combine that with the mobility they do add, and that kind of lets me like run around and do all kinds of crazy stuff I can do otherwise in classic PSO2. At the same time though, I won't lie that I do partially go to classic PSO2 for the more varied locations I get to visit. While I'm not able to move around as much, at least I'm able to like have more variety in places I'm able to visit. It's kind of funny really, because like classic PSO2 is more of a dungeon crawler type of deal. You're going to like a variety of different planets across the galaxy, and I guess like interdimensionally, because they do go to Earth in some missions. So like you could straight up just go to like Tokyo or Las Vegas. It's pretty neat. Like here on Halpha though, it's pretty much just the same 4 locales mainly. You know, you got Aelio with the grasslands, and Retem with its desert, Kvaris with its Arctic regions, and Stia with the volcanoes, and that's pretty much it, unless you're like going to special missions in the Seal or the Lost City or something. Whatever, in those cases, it's mainly just the same 4 places in this one open world map. And while I do like open world games, I won't lie, like it does get kind of stale just going to the same 4 regions over and over. And I guess that's why I like going back and forth between this and classic, because like, here I get the mobility I want. Classic, I get the stage variety I want, so it's like a bit of a back and forth. A lot more of this, a lot more of that. Gotta go here and there. Probably a good thing I downloaded both games at once. It's sort of like a 2-in-1 type of deal, since you're able to just block transfer to classic PSO2 from New Genesis and vice versa. It's pretty much at any time I can just go to the other game. I've been feeling more for that. I wish I could play with some friends more, but nah, there's a guild I'm in. Like we hang out sometimes, it's cool. The events are pretty nice as well. There was like a couple of Sonic related ones that came out the past couple of years because of like Frontiers, and what was it, the one with the new Generations port with like the extra shadow content that they're adding in, among other things. I guess those were kind of like standouts since they had a lot of platforming in there as well as combat. I always sort of like those sort of stages, like being able to fight and run around. Sort of a gameplay preference I have, I guess. I was still using that one. I mean, I would recommend like PSO2 if like you're into your hack and slash combat type of deal. If you want something that's like slightly slower, a bit more precise, but more varied, definitely classic PSO2 might suit you more. If you want something that's a bit more quicker paced with more mobility options kicked in there with like sprinting and double jumps and all that, and a glide even. And yeah, New Genesis is going to have all that, just don't expect as many options with the combat. Like, there's plenty of weapons to work with, it's just, you basically just have like your standard move, your weapon action, like 4 special attacks, maybe some elemental moves thrown in there if you're using the technique stuff, but otherwise, yeah. That's pretty much it. You have to go to classic PSO2 to get more moves for one weapon. All this time, working on these different things has given me some time to really think, along with some conversations I've been having with friends lately online about various kinds of games being made and such. And it's kind of had me thinking about my original projects and how I haven't really gotten them off the ground yet in terms of like completion. For the longest time I had this one project, Ether Overdrive, which I pretty much just had on the back burner forever. I've had plans for it as far back as when I was a teenager, but I never really went through with like anything big with it. Like, I wanted to make a comic, I wanted to make a game, but I haven't really made much progress beyond hypothetical control schemes, stat systems, and the like, some concept art. I kinda wanna see if I could actually make some headway with it for real. At least in some capacity. Maybe like some test project, you know, get my feet wet with programming again. And see what kind of smaller scale things I can make before going for the big one. As well as like from the art side of things, I wanna get a lot more art done and really spruce up my drawing skills before getting to the comic full stop. Because this is something I've been wanting to make for a long time, and right now it's still just like a bunch of notes and concepts and such on my computer. I want to make some legit headway with this, actually produce something that's actually worthwhile. I feel like there's gotta be audience for this sort of thing. I think it would be rather interesting to actually make and put out there, because it is like a bit of a passion project of mine, and I want to see it actually, you know, become something legit instead of just being something that's been in my head for like a decade or shit, it's getting close to 20 years now at this point. Jeez. I think I first conceptualized it in 2006. It's been a long time coming. Like, I don't want to just make it already. I think most I have is maybe some character design stuff. I did like try to come up with some designs using character creators that I've used over the years.
How's it going?
It was like Miitomo, Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and PSO2, of course, probably the most detailed of the bunch in that regard. I think I created a couple of characters using like Drawn to Life and Tony Hawk's Underground even. It's funny. You play around with a character creator and end up making a new character you want to use in something. It happens.
Oh, hi there.
Still, just what I got so far. I've updated the moveset mock-up that I've had for years. I think the previous iteration was from like 2019. It's nice to like look back on it with fresh eyes and try to update it, make some adjustments here and there, refine it further so that you could do more with it than you could before. Especially with like stuff you learn from seeing what other games can do over the years. I'm surprised to see like some expansions on certain things some games have done. Gonna take some notes on that, see what you could do from there, iterate on it. Probably show it someday. I always need to update my documents on the control schemes as well. Oh, and there's some artwork I wanted to work on for it as well, for like logos and such. I think the stat system might be as good as it's gonna get, but I might look over it again just to make sure that like everything works as it should. If there's like any discrepancies or maybe some redundancies, I'd probably like sort that out, try to make sure that there isn't too much overlap on like certain aspects, because you want things to like work properly in terms of like having a very in-depth and varied stat system with different kinds of moves and abilities to consider. Not to mention like different preset moves I could put in there for like a custom character build. Should I put that into the game in particular? I already have like things sorted out for like movement, fighting styles, the grappling mechanics. And of course there's like a whole system for job classes and element type and like I pretty much like look towards all kinds of things for inspiration. I don't want to limit myself to just one kind of thing, you know? Like the skills. I wonder if I should make some adjustments to the morality system. Something to look into later, I suppose. These character sheets I made back in like 2019. It was 2021. Feels like it was like a 2020 thing. Let's see. Many different forms, different amount of points. And that changed the amount of special moves available up to 12 slots. I figured out a way to make that work with a control scheme instead of just a character sheet or a tabletop concept. Yeah, I could definitely go through these again and make some adjustments. So there's some good stuff in here that I made from way back when. Of course, your checks and balances for your elemental affinities and such. I think there's like a lot of fun that can be done with the grapple mechanics as well. Try to work that into it. I guess like a big part of why I've been interested in looking through this stuff again was because of some other indie games that have been coming out or are in development currently that do some of the stuff that I've always wanted to see in games. Like a mix of platforming and combat. It's always sort of been something I've wanted to do myself with my own concepts. It's neat seeing other games out there like trying this stuff in different ways. Of course, they each have their own approaches. Nothing's going to be like one-to-one with what I want to do. And that's why we're each like doing our own thing out here, you know? Like everyone's got their own ideas on like what kind of thing they want to make. I want to see how well I can do with my own approach. Now I might get into level design as well. One can only imagine. Get those character stats done someday. That's just some artwork. And there is so much I gotta get done. God damn. It's like one of my biggest inspirations for this story was One Piece, so you know it's gonna be like a big thing. A huge world, lots of characters. Not sure if it would be as big. Hopefully it could be if I have the time, but you know how it is. Like, you have to like lock in pretty early in order to get that much progress that quickly. You know, himself is already like grinding constantly. You know how the mangakas be out there. Let's see here. And forgot I made character sprites back in the day. It's been over a decade ago. Yeah, I gotta get the rest of my drawings uploaded onto my computer. Probably like post some stuff online. You need to like put that stuff on social media, I guess. See what people think. And the references I could put in there. Some lore, some level theme ideas I have in the works. It's fun looking into like ideas you have for stuff. It's crazy how much you can do. You actually like put in the time. What else was there I wanted to talk about? Okay, let's see here in the notes. Alright, so there's this Rebel Taxi video that came out the other day. It had like a whole bunch of indie games listed. Some of them I was already familiar with, but like there's a bunch of ones I didn't even know about that look pretty fun. See, I already knew about Roland Rascal and Abyss X Zero, Geno Kids, and Luminous Nights. And those all look pretty fun. Like, I wouldn't mind checking them out once they're done, if they aren't already out there. Just need the money is all. Like, even looking past that, like all this other stuff I didn't know about, like Tricky Madness and Slope Crashers, like, yeah, I want that shit injected into my veins exactly. Like, that is the kind of stuff I need in some extreme sports games right now. Like, definitely has that SSX type energy. Even Slope Crashers, despite it being more inspired by like Snow Kids from like PS1 and such. And like looking at other racing games like Victory Heat Rally, a friend of mine already has that one. It looks interesting. Says definitely recommend if you're into like old school Sega style racing games. There's also Project Turbo Blast, which also looks pretty good, and Aero GPX, which definitely would fill in that void for like an F-Zero type of game if you're kind of missing what those used to offer back in the day. See here, Airframe Ultra. It seems to have like a bit more of a combat aspect to it. But Fumes and Night Shift Galaxy. Like these three seem to have more combat elements to them, if not just straight up like a straight up type of Twisted Metal type arena fighter vehicle type situation. So yeah, I definitely want to try those out. They look fun. And then there's just like more combat focused games like Battle Core Robots and Kings of Hell and Varvarian. Those look fun as well, though Varvarian I heard is like more on like slightly on the slower side, but like when those attacks hit, like they hit. It's like I'm looking in, like I'd like to try that one. What really caught my interest though was like Goblin Crimes and Meat Shot. Those look absolutely fun. I really want to try those. 500 caliber contracts is a maybe, because like I'm not super into Mario 64 in particular right now, but you know, it could be fun. It's, who knows. And there's like Mariachi Legends. I already play like Guacamelee, but hey, I could add another Latino Metrovania to my list, why not? And Pop Slinger 1 and 2 looks fun. That all being said, given the opportunity, I would like to play all of these. They just look fun to play, look interesting, really poppin' visually. And it's a nice change of pace from like your typical AAA, hyper-realistic, very gritty type of games that are pretty much just all they put out now, and it gets kind of monotonous. But yeah, I guess that's kind of my feel on that. Definitely want to try out these games. Definitely want to make something in a similar vein to those games. Always wanted to, honestly. And yeah, I guess that's kind of just how I've been feeling as of late. Bit of an update on how I've been doing in hopefully I can get these other videos out soon, so, we'll see, I guess.